Thank you very much, Mr. Malik. We have a final speaker for this panel, Mr. Shehryar Omar, Senior General Manager, Marketing, Pakistan State Oil. Please welcome him.
Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. As the last speaker in the after lunch slot, which is always a challenge, I've reduced my 100-page presentation to just 4 slides, not counting the title slide for the mathematicians out there. I'm briefly just going to talk about some key indicators about Pakistan, key indicators of the oil industry, key indicators about Pakistan State Oil, the company that I represent, and the opportunities that exist in Pakistan. We are the 6th largest country in the world by population. Last year we had a GDP of $320 billion. However, in purchasing power parity terms, it was a $1 trillion GDP. As some people also mentioned earlier in the day, 64% of our population is under 30, so a young working age population, of which we have about 80 million urban residents, which is larger than most European countries. So there is a huge potential in terms of the urban, educated, relatively more affluent population. Very low levels of household debt in Pakistan. The mortgage and car loan and credit card industry hasn't really made much inroads, so there's a lot of free cash available. We're adding about 2 million new vehicles on the road every year, which includes motorbikes, cars, trucks, tractors, trailers. And our current road network is about 265,000 kilometers, to which obviously the Cpec projects will add several thousand kilometers. The petroleum sector last year consumed 26.5 million tons of liquid fuels. We have 5 refineries, some of which you just heard. We processed about 12.5 million tons of crude oil last year. The 5-year growth in the industry is about 6%, but last year we grew by 10%. And the anticipation is that in 10 years' time, this will be a 50 million ton market. We currently have one of the most competitive oil marketing environments in the world, with more than 20 active oil marketing companies operating, and several more licenses are in process. Also, the fuel mix in Pakistan is changing. We imported and sold over 4 million tons of LNG last year, which is expected to grow by 50% this year to 6 million tons. We have a fairly well-developed transportation network of pipeline, road and rail, and we already talked about the road network. Coming to Pakistan State Oil, we are the largest commercial organization in Pakistan. Last year we had a revenue of $10 billion. 1.2 billion retail transactions at our 3,500 gas stations across the country. We fuel 50% of all road traffic in Pakistan, 80% of the air traffic, all of the rail traffic, 25% of the power generation. We handle about 14 million tons of product annually. We're also the largest tax collector for the government of Pakistan, collected about $3 billion in taxes last year. We have a product storage capacity of 1 million tons, and my colleague here, with me here, is heading up an expansion project, adding about 500,000 tons of storage capacity over the next 5 years. It's quite an ambitious plan that we have, and we operate through a transportation fleet of 8,000 tank lorries, and we also transport product through pipeline as well as railways. And then finally, just about the opportunities that exist. There are opportunities everywhere in this industry, in developing ports and related infrastructure, In coastal and inland storage development, there's a plan for an oil city in Gwadar that some people have talked about. There's an opportunity in developing the pipeline systems. There are multiple projects underway where gas pipelines coming in from Turkmenistan and Afghanistan as well as Iran. These are large projects that are at different stages of their development. As earlier mentioned, there are opportunities for new refineries, both coastal as well as inland. In addition to the 5 currently operating, there's another refinery that will be coming online soon, and there's opportunity perhaps for at least 2 or 3 more in the next 10 years. We are developing new energy corridors, Gwadar obviously being the prime one, all the way connecting to China, and then Iran and Central Asia will also open up as a result of that. And of course there are lots of opportunities in the petrochemical industry as well. I anticipate that in the next 10 years, this particular industry itself can easily absorb $20 to $30 billion in investment across all of these areas. So there's tremendous potential for our Egyptian friends to consider investing in Pakistan. And as Pakistan State Oil, we are always there as an enabler to partner with anybody who wants to come in, and to the mutual benefit of both of our countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for some very interesting facts on exploration, on the oil and gas industry in Pakistan and Egypt. I wonder if there are any questions to the panelists in the audience.